the Thursday, 2 weeks ago, from this Thursday coming up, we were going to have a special meeting to talk about what's going on with our water. And unfortunately, I got sick, and the board felt like that they wanted to wait until I got better. But as of right now, it's scary. I don't even know how to describe it. Patrick and I were trying to sit down with the Ditch Corporation and talk to them. They wanted to do some work up at the intake, and I don't know if anybody has been up there, but our intake is on one side and their intake is on the other, and they're directly across from each other. And they sent a letter out to me dated October 8th stating that they wanted us to remove our EPA fence that was approved, that we have to have there according to the EPA. And we told them we couldn't do that. And then they wanted us to take our locks off, and they're going to put their own locks on, and the Maradoma was going to run the creek, the water, that Tularosa didn't have the right to run it, that we as a village don't have water rights. So we tried to work this out, and said, let's meet, let's see what we can do. So Patrick and I were here at this meeting because they didn't want an open meeting for obvious reasons. They just wanted to meet, one of them, not a full, quorum. So we agreed to that, and we were willing to let them do their work, go in. They wanted to turn the water off for 3 days, and, we were kind of worried about that, but we were willing to work with them. Needless to say, Patrick and I sat here in a meeting that nobody showed up to. While we were sitting at a meeting, they were cutting our locks off, putting their own locks on. They have actually locked our water plant operator out of our own intake water. They turned the water off for 3 days. They were supposed to ask our permission if they could, which we were going to grant it. It wasn't a hostile thing between us, but now they have made it a hostile. They've taken over our water. We just got a letter today. We got our lawyers involved, and we asked them to replace our EPA fence, which the EPA person told us they had no right to do that, and that is a required fence. And we called the FBI, everybody has been called on the situation. They know what's going on. The Corps of Engineers, of Army Engineers, everybody's already been contacted about this situation. So we're not just sitting on our hands doing nothing. We got a letter back today because our lawyer wrote them and said, you need to replace our fence. You need to let us into our intakes. That's all we asked for. We didn't ask for anything else. We didn't ask, to take over their part. We didn't ask for anything. Just to let us in for our intake and to let us into the gates. Their response was, none of this belongs to Tularosa. All the water belongs to the Ditch Corporation. And we are now they're going to drop a meter, and they're going to meter us, and we're going to pay for our own water. They want total control of our water. They've got total control right now. So this is why I wanted to inform you guys, you as villagers, receive this water. You turn the water on. So when they turned our water off for 3 days, luckily our plant operator Nash had the tanks full, but they still put our fire suppression compromised it, because if we'd had a big fire, we had to use a lot of water. So this is your water. You guys have every right to say, and no, we're not. As you can tell, I'm not gagging anything. I don't know where that came from. They are gagged. They won't say anything about nothing. But we are not. You have the right to know what's going on. This is your village. This is your water. And I would be real concerned I'm concerned. Believe me, I've lost sleep over this. These trustees have lost sleep over it. We're worried, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where they think that they have the right to pirate our water, but they do. And now they're in control of our water. Nash can't even get down there to clean out the intake to see if he goes down there at least 2 or 3 times a week to clean the leaves, the branches out. Hasn't been done. We don't know if they altered our water intake, if they, moved it around. We don't know anything because they've locked us out. So. I just want you guys as a village to know we as trustees are working on this as much as we can. But you guys have the power to call the state. You have the power to call the attorney general. You have as much power as we do. Use your power. Use it. Because the more people that know about this, the more we can get the help that we need. And as a village, you should be very concerned. If they go up there and shut our intake valve off, we have no water. That right? Well, anybody, all of us, we can't take showers, we can't do anything, and they're total control over our water right now. So that's why I was trying to pull a special meeting to get you guys together to let you know this is where it's going. And I have the letter right here that says from their attorney that they own the land, they own the water, we own nothing.
I would ask everybody in here, please call the governor's liaison. It's the constituent liaison between the governor. I called the governor, didn't get an answer, but I did get a call back from the liaison. That's a constituent liaison for the governor. So call him and let him know your concerns, because like she said, the more people that call Santa Fe, we need. I want to call Action 7 News and Larry Barker, but that's another story. But please call the governor and get a hold of the liaison, the constituent liaison, and let them know your concerns, because the more people call, like she said, the better chance we have to resolve this in an amicable agreement with the Ditch Association.
Sad part about all this as well is like what the mayor just said. For some reason or other, the Ditch Corporation does not want to have an open meeting with us to discuss this situation, and I cannot understand why, because I would think an open meeting would probably clear up a lot of this. But for some reason, the Ditch Corporation doesn't want to have an open meeting or involve other individuals.
Well, I can kind of summarize that, probably. I think the villagers are more upset too, because they're not receiving the water that they're supposed to be receiving, and the Ditch Corporation is so adamant that they don't want it. But they have a public meeting, guys, December 2nd. Everybody, every one of you people in this village, they need to, every one of us needs to go. Every one of us. We need to go. We need to show our face there, and whatever they're doing, we need to pack that place out, because they don't want the villagers to. That's why they don't want an open meeting, because I get the calls, people. I get them. Patrick gets them. Robert gets them, and Manny's part of the ditch. So is Robert. We all know what they're doing, and they're keeping water from our town people, and that's why they don't want to have an open meeting, because they're afraid you guys are going to cut their heads off. Literally, that's what they're afraid of. But they're having an open meeting on December 2nd, and everybody needs to go. You need to tell your friends, you need to tell your family members, you need to tell everybody you can to go to that meeting. It's at the community center, I do believe. I'm sorry, guys, this is our water. This is serious. This is not something we can just say, oh, well, we're going to let them take care of. You need to be mad. I'm mad. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm mad. I'm sure the rest of the board's mad too, I mean, it's not, this is our water.
They want to charge the village for water. That's unacceptable. That water is federal water coming off the reservation. That water belongs to all citizens of the United States, not only Tularosa. That water belongs to all of us. And for them to want to meter our water, guess what's going to happen? That charge is going to have to go somewhere.
We'd have
And so
capacity too.
that is totally unacceptable for them to even think. And ditch association people, if you're watching this, don't even think that you're going to charge Tularosa for water. It's not going to happen. I just called the governor's office and he called me back, but he's right under the governor.
Of course.
Yep.
You guys can, the more publicity this gets, the better it is for us. Really, it is, honestly. I've already gone to the radio stations. I've gone to the newspaper. It was in the newspaper, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. It was in the newspaper. This is not right. I'm sorry. It's not right, you know? So we need to be active. You guys need to be as active as we are being right now. So be proactive, get out there and, you know, like I said, they got a meeting. I hope you guys tell all your relatives and friends and everybody else what's going on, because that's what we're doing right now. We're telling you guys so that you can tell your family members so you can get out there what's going on, okay? So that was the meeting that got canceled. I apologize. I can't control my health. I can control a lot of things, but I can't control that. So